We bring to order our formal session of Board of Commissioners on January 30th at 10 a.m. And let's, Commissioner King, you want to lead us in the flag salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. If you're here to make public comments, please fill out the tan cards for anything on or off the agenda and the green cards for public hearings, which we do have 2 slated for today. And then hand those over to Jessica or Carolina or Bailey.
Welcome back, Bailey.
Welcome back.
We missed you.
We're on to item C, which is our calendar session. Does anybody have anything to add or remove?
Nope.
Commissioner?
No, I don't think I have anything to add.
I have one, and I'm not sure if it's going to overlap with another commissioner or not, so I'll just put it out there. Provoking Hope on Saturday, 6 p.m.
I think that's on there already, isn't it?
I didn't, is it on there?
Yeah.
It's on there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we'll all 3 be there,
I went
right?
online.
That's this week.
I-
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Perfect. Moving on, any public comment on a non-agenda item? Raise your hand. We have one in the back. Come on up. State your name and address, please.
I'm Beth Kaiser, 1400 Hoskins Street, Newburgh. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity to talk. This week, Commissioner King put out a video stating what he did on his trip to DC. After listening to that video and being here for the meeting last week, there were some discrepancies in his statements, and I feel like we need to have transparency and honesty coming from our commissioners and not creating a false narrative of what's happening. And so, you know, there were comments made on Facebook where this video was posted, and Commissioner King had shared that he has a learning disability, and I made a reference to that because it feels like he's not understanding what's happening on the board. And so then he made a comment to me that maybe I'm the one with the learning disability. Well, I'm one of his people that I pay his salary. He represents me, and I don't appreciate being spoken to that way and that reference being made to me. So I feel like there needs to be a code of conduct when commissioners are putting videos out, that there needs to be transparency, honesty, and that y'all need to be on the same page of what's happening. And I think that's the least that we can ask, and for respect for the people that you represent. And I would just ask that that could be something that happens forthcoming. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's also an emailed public comment. I want to make sure everybody received that.
I got it.
We're moving on to any other public comments on a non-agenda item. If you're online, you can raise your virtual hand. Seeing none. Moving on to E, department updates. There's none. Moving on to F, which is work session. We'll also have none there. G is the consent agenda. I would move approval. Is there any further discussion?
None.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to H, which is old business. There's none. Item I is other business. And I1 is consideration of approval of amendment number 2 to agreement number 169589 between Yamhill County and the Oregon Department of Human Services, Child Welfare, effective upon execution, updating background check and transportation language.
Chair, I would move approval.
We have a motion. Is there any further discussion?
None.
None for me.
None. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to our public hearings portion. So we have 2 items under our public hearings. Do I open the public hearing even though we're already in, or?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to open our public hearing portion of our meeting at 10:07, depending on which clock you look at. And our first item up for consideration is of a mass gathering permit application for the 2025 Memorial Weekend Boat Races event on May 24th and 25th, 2025. The applicant is Newburgh Boat Club / Columbia Outboard Racing Association. At this time, I would ask if there's any testimony in favor to come on up and state your name and address. Welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm Don Schmidt, 1604 North Meridian, Newburgh, Oregon. And I represent the Newburgh Boat Club and the Columbia Outboard Racing Association. On behalf of both those organizations, we're asking for exclusive use of Rogers Landing starting on the 23rd, 6 o'clock on the 23rd of May, which is a Friday, through midnight on the 25th for our annual 77th annual boat race. We bring in racers from Oregon, Washington, Idaho, California. Once in a while, we even get a Canadian to come down. We do have camping. About half the racers camp at the boat landing. The rest of them are spread through the hotels and B&Bs. I haven't woke up yet this morning. We also would like to have permission to allow camping on Thursday night down there, because some of the racers from the Seattle area especially could like to come down a day early to miss the traffic coming out of Seattle and Tacoma. We also ask that the normal event price be waived and a fee paid for the paperwork as we have in the past. You have any questions of either one of us?
No, we definitely appreciate the work you do and that every year you stay in this. It's a big event for our community.
Yeah, we, about a third of the racers or third to half of the racers, they go out and they eat in town, they buy food in town, they buy gas in town, and even the racers themselves, when they come in, the guy that runs they go into a gas station and they buy a particular gas, and that gas is given to all the racers, and they actually have to go out and buy that gas in order to race at the event. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of how much the racers do bring into the community.
Just as somebody that has been a part of that and Chamber of Commerce and so on, I know how much it actually does contribute to Newburgh and Dundee. And so thank you. And just for all the restaurants and, like you said, hotels and Airbnbs and so on and so forth, just all of the business community, I know how much it does bleed into. So we do need more of those type of events that aren't exclusively wine related. So thank you so much.
So what I'd like is if you guys could leave your contact information with probably Bailey would be just fine. I'd like to connect you with our Parks Department Manager, Travis Pease. I'd like to see if this year we can start something where there might be a space for our Parks Board to set up a booth down there, so we can really advertise and push our parks. And even if there's something that could be related as a fundraiser down there that they could do for those weekends. So I'd like you to have a conversation with our director there, our manager, and see if there's something we can't work out.
We have worked out stuff in the past for that, so yeah, we're very open to that.
Perfect. Appreciate it. All right. Do we have a motion? Or do we need a motion or just,
Well, no, I was just going to add that I think customarily what we've done is just charge instead of the event fee, just what was required for newspaper publication and.
Yeah, historically,
application.
it's been $250. And oftentimes they've come with the check in hand. So
Oh,
I-
wait. Yes.
See, now that's confidence.
Oh, he's gonna write it on the spot.
But yeah,
Do you
before,
accept
before,
cash?
Yes, just write cash on two. That's fine.
um,
Oh,
is there any other testimony here?
oh, yes. Any testimony in opposition to the application?
Or any other?
Or any
testimony
in
support
general.
Generally about the application, yeah.
Seeing none.
Okay, then you close the hearing and then
Okay,
deliberate, and you can discuss whether or not to waive the fee. And if you do, just there would be a motion to approve the application with the reduction in the application fee to $250.
Okay. So we close the hearing on item 1 for the application of the 2025 Memorial Weekend Boat Races at 10:12.
Chair, I would move approval of accepting the application and waiving everything but the $250 fee.
We have a motion. Is there any further discussion?
None from me.
None? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed signify by saying nay. All right, motion passes. Congratulations on another year.
Thank
I
you.
remember it's either 1990 or 91. It was record heat back then. And we were on the river just around the bend from Newburgh boat launch. And we were watching them just as they were coming to the corner. It was pretty fun. And I'm like, yeah, probably 10 or 11 years old. That I appreciate you guys sticking with it and being with the community this long.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
coming. We'll see you in May.
Yeah, be there. Come on down and join us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
So Chair, as in the past, will prepare the formal board order, and then that'll come back before the board within the next week or two for final approval.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up for our second item at 10, public hearing for our second item at 10:14. And this is in consideration of a mass gathering permit application for the 2025 Wildwood Music Festival event on June 20 to 22, 2025. The applicant is Katie Vinson. Is there any testimony in favor or presentation? Come on up, name and address, please.
My friend Karen.
You can both be there, it's fine.
Come on down.
Yeah.
Neither did I, it's fine.
Yeah.
Nice chair.
Yes, hi there. It's been some years since this has taken place, and sadly with the pandemic and shutdown, we kind of stopped. And then my former partner had a different route in mind as far as like what she's doing with the property. So I was kind of feeling lost and not having a spot to be. And this is just the farm that I grew up on, and it's a really pretty place. It's always been a concern, the remoteness, and I know that there's been some talk of the time of year and things. We're trying to go a little bit earlier to avoid like the dryness and the heat that that we sometimes would run into. It's sometimes would be beautiful. We had previously been the third weekend in July, and this is going to jump a month ahead to June. And so so yeah, but I want to be transparent in that when this is the same event, but it's going to be much, much smaller, especially initially, because I just want to make sure that we have, you know, everything needed. It's a new site, just to be very cautious. So a mass gathering is kind of a little bit of overkill. We're thinking maybe 350 to 500 people might be in attendance.
This is by ticket sale, so you can know that you won't go over that number.
Yes, yes, yeah, we sell tickets in advance.
Just for the record, real quick, can you state your name and address?
Sorry, yeah, Katie Vincent, and I am at 695 Southwest Pioneer in Willamina.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, so, and I know that, I'd received an email that talked about a few, concerns and things and, like fire marshal as far as like it being one way in, and I just, there is a connecting property that I actually just purchased myself that is next, neighboring this, and so there would be a way, and I just made a small, thing that I can hand to you as far as there could be an additional emergency access point of like, you know, fire trucks either coming in or people, you know, going out if needed, that would go over to Indian Creek Road. So it wouldn't be just the one access point. So, so yeah, and then in addition to that, I'm working on a friend of mine has a fire truck, a neat old fire truck. We've actually used it many years in the past. It's 1,500 gallons, and it's actually, you know, we can drive it where it need be, and so that can be on site as an additional protection. And just caution. And then there is a pool on the property that's 10,000 gallons. So that's kind of helpful to have a little bit of a reserve as well. So, and we've always been, you know, supportive of local, not only vendors, but talent and nonprofits. We've had the school teams usually, like the last time we did it was the football team helped to do our dishes. And so there's various ways that local nonprofits are supported, and historically we've given away about $5,000 each year to the local nonprofits in addition to what they would be able to earn. So it's
Katie, the medical director, Dr. Koenig, had a couple of questions about additional hand washing stations and asking if each porta potty had its own hand washing station.
You know, each, in the past, what we've done is just have a group of porta potties, and then there's like a double sink. So it's got, you know, two. So usually I would say probably per 4 porta potties, there'd be a sink available. So yeah, my map I did very quickly. So and I don't know if there's I'm sure, you know, open to whatever requirements are needed with that. So.
Well, it was more of a suggestion, maybe an additional few stations in the entire property.
Yeah, that would be
It might be
very
helpful.
doable.
Yeah, I know at the fair you can rent so when we have the fair, you can rent additional just hand washing stations.
Right,
I don't
right.
know if that's what he's referring to, but I know most portable toilets now have the hand sanitizer,
Right,
but
right,
definitely, you probably want to just verify that and request when you do order those.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's exciting.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you can't get it going unless you start. So this is my effort to get started again, which is funny how momentum is like that.
There was one other, can we discuss this now while they're here, just in case we have questions, or do you want to wait till, okay. So to add on to Commissioner Sterrett, there was a couple emails that came in, one that stemmed from Sheriff Elliott that then went to Chief Warden, and it's fire related. There is one other, it's Oregon Department of Forestry that's kind of would be also their area. So I want to make sure that you guys reach out to them. I know Chief Warden responded to the group email, so they're aware of what you got going on, but maybe just personally reach out to them so they have the plan or an update of your application, what you're going to do.
Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Could definitely do that.
And the other thing to follow up on, I know you had 2 different dates on your application. On our agenda, it just shows the June date. Everybody, the sheriff and the chief do agree that the earlier dates would be better because the July dates overlap with
Yes,
some
I
other
understand
events.
that. I mean, as well as the neighbors and everybody, I'm just hoping it doesn't rain. You know, that's the big thing, but it's definitely like, I think going a little bit earlier in the year is appealing to most everyone. So,
Perfect.
So I'm fine with that and just hope for the best.
Perfect.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Any
No, I think you
concerns,
covered all the
comments? Okay.
details. Yeah, I know you guys have thrown this for a lot of years and had to slow down during pandemic. So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm glad you're trying to move it and find a new home. So good job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'll call if there's any opposition to the application
Yeah,
or
if any other
any just
testimony.
general
Thank
testimony.
you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody online? Seeing none? Okay. Do we have any further discussion on this application?
Close the hearing? Close the hearing?
I close this hearing. Public hearing on item 2, consideration of a mass gathering permit for application for 2025 Wildwood Music Festival event, June 20 to 2022, June 20 to 22 in 2025 at 10:21.
It's a lot of twos.
Any further discussion on this application?
Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the mass gathering application.
We have a motion to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Mr.
Aye.
Chair, if you could, if you're also going to be reducing the fee to $250, or historically that's what's happened, you'd want to include that in the motion as well.
To reduce, and yes, I would include that, to reduce the fee to the $250 as we have done in the past.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
No, not.
We have a motion. We're going to go for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed signify by saying nay. Motion passes. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
It'll
for
be
coming.
a
Good to see you.
couple weeks and we'll follow up with some.
Yeah, we'll work with the applicant and then make sure if we have any other comments from any other public agencies, we'll make sure and address those, and it'll be covered in the formal permit. That'll come back before the board in a couple of weeks.
All right, moving on. We're out of our public hearings. We're now on to item K, which is announcements. Commissioner King, you want to kick us off?
Sure. I think it was mentioned earlier, but on Saturday, I believe at least 2 of us will be at Provoking Hope fundraiser. Especially important to me. A friend of mine lost her husband last week, and to just this type of work that's being done. So I'm very happy to support and be a partner with any of these organizations that want to help. So very happy to get to go. And then on Sunday, I get to do the opening ceremonies for the Lunar New Year party here in McMinnville at the community center. So if you're free, you should come down to that. I think it's at 11 o'clock. Very excited to be there as well. So, and happy Lunar New Year. I think it's the year of the snake. Yeah. I get to feed dragon dancers, I think, lettuce. So.
Right. Okay. All right. Commissioner Stair?
Yes, CPRD is moving ahead with some pretty big projects. For those of you who've been following the Sanders Estate saga, this was a property that was given to CPRD. I believe it was donated in 2017. They're still trying to get this across the finish line. And I think what they're doing is trying to weed through the red tape and go directly to city leaders and try to get phase 1 added to, and that would be huge because it's been a long time in the works. In terms of Crabtree Park, we're going to be discussing that soon. They are interested in continuing discussions with the county, and I think we're going to have an executive session next week to discuss the specifics of that. And we have good news. I know, Commissioner, you've been working on the culvert issue, and we do have problems solved thanks to a ODF&W grant, and I think they're going to start in April. So that's a big piece. So that's coming up. And let's see, the other questions are regarding the other properties that we've offered them, and that has to do with the landfill, but we'll part that out, and the Ewing Young Park, but that's for the future. A couple of other things. They're interested in continuing to work on the Newburgh-Dundee bypass trail on the ODOT right-of-way. But again, the grants they received are certainly not going to cover the construction on this. So that's going to be a problem. A couple of things that were really important this week. The overdose fatality review team that I've been taking part in a pilot project with the state. We take a look at the specifics of a recent overdose. And I want to thank the Sheriff's Office and Parole and Probation, Provoking Hope, Health and Human Services, the state we're basically mapping these overdoses and we're looking at the specifics of how this happens and where did we miss something along the way, particularly tragic case of a woman that we addressed. And it shows the trajectory starting in with juvenile criminal behavior all the way through to going through our Women's Recovery Court, finding some success there, and then ultimately succumbing to this disease that takes absolutely no prisoners. So I want to say we've got some very, very compassionate people working very hard on addiction issues. And I was very, very encouraged by that. The other thing I want to let you know in terms of the Housing Authority, Stratus Village is moving right along, and they're going to be notifying interested parties of to apply for the wait list. So if you go to anybody who's interested in applying for a Stratus Village apartment, go to the landing page of hayc.org. It's the Housing Authority. And at the board meeting, a discussion of how important it was to get notified of when the wait list opens. And they're going to be able to do that. It's right across, it's the banner across the website. Yesterday had about 15 people here from a variety of different animal rescues. And we talked about how we can shore up our dog control program, work with the sheriff's office, and find ways to have sort of the nonprofit community working with our we're struggling in terms of, but I have to tell you, there were some really encouraging numbers when they sent out renewal notices. They're starting to see really good renewals coming in. So we're working on that. And the CCO retreat is tomorrow, and we will be meeting with the OHA director. So that's what I got.
Fantastic. Thank you. Fire district meeting on Thursday. Not a whole lot new there. I mentioned before that they are moving out to 3 Mile Lane. That is in full swing and in progress. And that is Station 15, if anybody was curious. Starting next Thursday, and every first Thursday of the month, I'm going to start a chat with the chair. It will be at the new Yamhill County headquarters building, which was formerly the OMI building. It'll be on Thursdays, that first Thursday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's pretty much just open to any conversation. If you have comments, if you want to just come by, sit and listen to conversation, I'm open. I will be there. If you have concerns of something that you think the county doesn't know that's going on in your area of the county, because we do cover a lot of square miles, I'm open. Come on down. Let me know what your concerns are. It's going to be very, very, very informal. If nobody shows up, I'll definitely have homework with me, so no worries there. I popped into Carlton last night and watched our state rep, Lucetta Elmer, give an update on how she's proceeding with this year in the state legislature. Very positive, and got an update on her priorities, and I think she's going to do great. I think this is her third year now. So that's what I have for updates. If there's anything else for the good of the order, no. I will close this formal session at 10:29.